Doing an American brown ale. Nice, assertive American hop citrus bitterness, along with some chocolate malt, nice layers of caramel malt.
And you're going to bring it to boil, and it's going to boil for an hour?
We're actually not going to boil these.
Oh.
These are going to be just steeped. You don't want to boil the grains because they'll pull off kind of harsh tannins.
Okay.
So we're going to go up to a specific temperature here. We don't want to go above 160. Anything above 160 and you start to run the risk of those tannins getting into the beer. Yep, get it to 160 and then just kind of hold it there for about 20-25 minutes. 158, so I'll back it down a little bit. We're going to add a little calcium chloride. In dark beers, it really helps smooth it out, kind of, rather than getting that harsh acidity from the roasted grains, it kind of smooths it out.
How much calcium chloride are we going to add?
We're going to do about 1 gram for this batch.
Is there a rule of thumb for how much you put in per batch?
Depending on your local water. All depends on what you're starting with and where you want to end up.
How do you know?
Like I said, send water out, get a report done. Then I've got a program that kind of gives you an idea of where you want to be by style.
Okay.
If you want it malty, if you want it, assertive bitterness, it'll tell you where to adjust sulfates and calcium and stuff like that. It's also adding the chloride helps bring our local water up to the recommended calcium level, which helps with yeast flocculation, which is the yeast dropping out, making a nice clear beer, which you don't typically need to worry about in a brown ale, but it's still nice to know that the yeast are getting what they need.
Right.
The extract is about 90% base malt, regular malted barley, and then about 10% crystal malts, kind of gives it a caramel flavor. So it's all the alcohol and all the character. You'll see it kind of start to swell up immediately. So the first edition is going to be your bittering edition. Since it's a brown ale, you don't want it real bitter, so we're going to use a 1/4 ounce of high alpha nugget, which is a hop that Founders uses a lot for their dark beers.
Okay.
So we're doing a 1/4 ounce now, and then from that point on, we're going to start our boil timer, which is going to be a full hour boil, and then we're going to do the other 3/4 ounce of nugget at 10 minutes, which is going to give us hop flavor, and then we're going to do full ounce of Cascade.
This is the one that smells the best.
Yep, full ounce of Cascade at 5 minutes, and this is going to be more for aroma. A little bit of flavor, but more for aroma. Going to add the wort chiller to sanitize it. That's going to sanitize that, and then we're going to add a cap full of yeast nutrient. Gives the yeast some stuff to eat on, make sure they're nice and healthy.
We want happy and healthy yeast.
Yes. 1 of 4 ingredients, but the most important.
Okay.
65 would be optimal.
So we're just going to run some cold water through it until we get about 65?
Yep.
65 to 70?
Yep.
All right.
Probably safer than just dumping it.
Yeah, because there'll be some hop sediment in the bottom that you're not going to want to put into the fermentation process, that you want oxygen in your beer.
Okay.
The yeast require oxygen from the get-go to reproduce and populate the colony. If you don't have enough yeast, it'll kick out a lot of esters and it'll smell alcoholic. It'll smell kind of obtrusive.
Okay.
But after this initial blast of oxygen, that's the only time you want it in your beer. 2 weeks from now, if you got oxygen in there, if you splash your fermenter around, your beer's going to taste like wet cardboard.
Oh. No special way?
Nope.
Okay.
You can do a dance if you want.
While you dump it in? What?
That's it.
And then you leave the sanitized water in the
Yep.
top?
The airlock lets oxygen out, or it lets CO2 out, but doesn't let oxygen in, which is key.
Right.